past the present pain and circumstance. I read just 2 weeks ago a BBC survey, and it said 31% of the Christians in the poll believed in the literal resurrection of Jesus. So that means 69% of Christians in that poll did not believe that Jesus actually rose from the dead in a physical form. We just celebrated Easter, and I like to imagine early in the morning before dawn, Jesus as a spirit coming from the spirit world, coming into the tomb before he was resurrected. The grave clothes would have had to have been unwound from that body before he could enter back into it. And John chapter 20 describes how the napkin that had been around his head was folded and laid on one side, and the clothing was folded on the other side. When the body was ready for him, I imagine that Jesus' spirit entered into it. Was there light? Was there sound at the resurrection? I don't know. I have no idea. But I do know that when the heavy stone was rolled away and Jesus walked out of the grave, the first fruits of them that slept, the limits of death and hell stopped having power on this earth. There was now a living, physical example of those scriptural promises that the dead should rise again. And of course it was so hard to mentally grasp. Mary Magdalene, full of grief in the garden, she couldn't believe it at first. But when Jesus spoke her name and she reached out to embrace him, she knew what resurrection meant. Mary Magdalene was the first mortal